And the Lord said that's how some people faith are. It's contaminated. It's got little bugs in it. I got a whole bag of flour here, but it's good for nothing. To be thrown out is all I can do with this flour. And that's what happens when we say we have faith, but we let a little bug in. And that's doubt and unbelief. Wow. Don't nobody want to bake with doubt and unbelief. Don't make my cake with this. But it's a whole bag of flour and a few little bugs. I don't want it. And that's what God says to us. When we come to him in faith, and we say we have faith, and we say we've got faith to move a mountain, and yet the next day we talk with doubt and unbelief. It's just like this bag of flowers that we're going to have to throw away because it's not good. The substance is no longer good. I can't hear nobody talking to me. And Bishop, the Lord told me, he said, faith is the substance, it's the main ingredients of things that are hoped for. I'm hoping when I open this flour that I'm going to start the process of baking. Amen. When I open my mouth, I'm starting a process, come on somebody, of a product that is not seen yet. When I opened up this flour, I had a mindset of something that I wanted to do. I had an end result. I looked at the recipe and said 2 cups of flour. Start with 2 cups of flour. You cut back on the sugar, but don't mess with the flour. Come on, somebody. You cut back on the eggs, but don't mess with the flour. Come on, somebody. It says start with the 2 cups of flour. Come on, somebody. Start with the faith. Start with your cup of faith. And don't let the bugs get in it. Don't let the contamination get in it. Don't let doubt and unbelief get in it. Because it is the substance of things. Oh, boy. The evidence. When I start with my flour, I got evidence. I got evidence. In advance that my biscuit's coming. My daddy got a recipe and all it takes is flour and one other ingredient. Come on, somebody. And them biscuits is coming. Why? I have faith that when I put my flour in, when I put my substance in, when I put the main ingredient in, when I put the main thing in, that something's going to come out all right. Somebody say faith. Faith.
Faith. Hallelujah.
It is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence. It's the evidence. Right here is my evidence for what's coming. Right here is my evidence for what's not going to come. If you close up your faith, come on somebody. If you close up your faith and you never use it, you'll never get that baked good. I can do eggs. I can do sugar. I can do vanilla flavor. I can put the pineapples in it. Somebody that got hungry right now. Hallelujah. But if I don't put no flour in there, now I ain't gonna have no cake. Come on, somebody. If I don't put no flour in there, I will not have none of this on this board. If I don't put flour in there, I will never come to the point of getting that picture, no matter what I start with. If I leave out a main ingredient, it's not going to come out the same. And that's what's wrong. Somebody asked me, what's wrong with my prayer life? You're not praying in faith. What's wrong with my belief? I'm not believing in faith. What's wrong with what I'm going through? And why am I going through this? And why? Because you don't have the main ingredient. You got to up your faith. Come on, somebody. You got to up your faith. You got to change the dosage in your faith. I didn't come to preach. I just wanted to share this. And I got to go because Stephanie. But watch this. Verse 3, through faith. Verse 4, by faith. Verse 5, by faith. Verse 6, but without faith. Without that main ingredient. I said without faith. Without that main ingredient. Without faith. Without that main ingredient. Without that main ingredient. It is impossible to please God. It is impossible to please God. Without this main ingredient, you will never get the end of what you want. Without this main ingredient, you will never come to understand who and what God is saying concerning you. I just want to tell you today that up your faith is the main ingredient. Up your faith, you'll up your power. Hallelujah. I said up your faith and you'll up your power. Up your faith, you'll up your power. Can y'all see what the Lord showed me?
Amen.
I needed to give you a visual because sometimes we say faith, but we don't have a visual. Faith is your flour. When you want to thicken up a pot, you put a little. I got a few cooks up in here. Huh? You put a little flour. Sometimes when you get a little weak, you got to put a little flour in it. Huh? You got to stir yourself up. You got to put a little heat to you, which is praise. Amen. And allow that thing to simmer. Come on, somebody. Stir it and let it simmer. In other words, get a scripture. Let it simmer. Let it soak in. And see what God will do for you. Can you receive that today?
Yeah.
Come on, let's begin to receive Minister Stephanie at this time. Amen. It's Women's Day here at the Harvest. And we're just so happy about what the Lord is doing. Glory. Amen. And we just thanking and praising God for our faith chat this morning. We want to thank God for those that are on the line with us. And we want to thank God for those that are in the sanctuary. Hallelujah. Do you need a miracle this morning? If you need a miracle, we just want you to just, what you say? Give me your heart, lift up your hands, and he'll what? He'll take it from there. Do you need a miracle this morning? Are you anticipating the miracle work of God in your life this morning? I'm anticipating a miracle, amen, as we get ready to receive from this, our minister of the house, Minister Stephanie Jean Baptiste. We thank God for her. She's always awesome and terrific. And those of you that are watching by way of YouTube and by way of Skype, we just want to tell you you're in for an awesome experience this morning. And God is here to bless us and open up your heart, open up your mind, and let him take it from there. Do you need a miracle? Come on, come on, come on. And I know he can. Do you need a miracle? Yeah. You need a miracle. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. If your heart can, lift your hand, lift up your hand, and get from there. Come on, help us say it. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. Oh, my Jesus is here. Jesus is here. And he's able, and I know he can. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. Just give him your heart. Give him your heart. Lift your hand. Lift up your hand. He'll take it from there. He's looking. He's waiting. Just to give it to you. You let me need. He will always come. We serve God. We serve God. He wants to give us. You need a miracle. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. Give him your heart. Jesus is here. He's able, and I know he can. Do you need a miracle? You need a miracle. I need a miracle. You need a miracle. Lift those hands. Here we go, here we go, here we go. He's lifting Lord. He wants to make a way. All you need. All you gotta do is call. You call and he won't pass you by. Our God, He's so faithful, and He's always just. All He asks from you tonight, every place I travel, in our darkest house, all our sorrows and our pain, just know that the Lord is able, and the sun will shine again. Ooh, come on, somebody, give us praise.
Good morning to you all. Thank you for coming to Great Harvest Christian Center and join us in our worship. I'll ask you to remain standing with me just for a little while longer and take your Bibles and turn to Isaiah chapter 54.
Hallelujah.
When you get there, say amen. And so I had two titles for this message, and I was kind of debating between both, but I said I'm just going to give both. The first one is Everlasting Kindness, and the second one is Will You Grow? So we'll start off with the first verse, and I'll have you guys sit down. It says, Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. Break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, says the Lord. You can have it.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
So with everlasting kindness, the way that topic came into mind is that because I always think of how you have that person that's super, super nice and everyone really likes, but at the same time, you tend to take advantage of that person. And so I've seen that plenty of times, and I'm sure everyone's had a moment where someone has taken advantage of you. You start treating them as though they're your personal doormat. They do everything for you. They don't complain. They go along with what you say, and you use and you abuse them, and you kind of technically treat them like crap. And yet they're always still there. They're always taking care of you. They're always helping you out despite all of that. And I was thinking, that's very similar to what we do to God. A lot of us, me personally, I know that I would do whatever I want to do, say whatever I want to say. And like Bishop had talked before, when I grew up in my church, we had what we call this clause, this loophole in the word, where you can do whatever you want to do, but then if you say, "Oh God, forgive me," He'll forgive you and everything is okay. And so I grew up with that mentality that I can do whatever I do. As long as I'm able to tell God, I am so sorry, I apologize, He'll forgive me and everything is well. But that's not a fact. That's treating God as though like He's stupid. And as though you can do whatever you want to do, sin however you want to sin. All you have to do is to say, "Forgive me, God," and everything is going to be all right. Because we just expect Him to be that loving, kind God, and He's just going to forgive us for everything. And so I thought that's the way we do God a lot of times. We treat Him like He's our personal doormat, or He's Santa Claus, or He's our personal genie, and we can just wish certain things and He'll just give it to us undeserving. So that's where the title for Everlasting Kindness came up. But then the next topic came with Will You Grow? As I kept reading more and more into Isaiah 54, I was like, okay, so this is really talking about the growth. And I was so amazed how it ties into what we've been talking about this whole entire time. And so I don't have bullet points in a sense, but we'll just kind of walk every single verse through, and I'll give it to you how God did it.
Amen.
So the first one says, Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear. And so I thought that was amazing, and the fact that the person, you're asking me to praise and be happy when I can't bear anything. Barren meaning that you're unable to produce nothing. You're infertile, you're sterile. I can't produce anything. And most women who are fertile and barren, they're not exactly going around shouting, woo, 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 I can't have kids, woo. No, most of the times they're very sad. Most of the times they feel like, oh my goodness, is something wrong with me and all of these things. They're not quite singing for joy. But here we find God is telling us, sing for joy. And it's kind of like, but why? I can't bear anything. I can't produce anything. Why am I going to sing for joy about that? But God said sing for joy anyway. Okay? And he said that even though you didn't travail, you didn't go through labor birth, you didn't push anything out, I still want you to be happy because you're going to have a lot of children. And so it's like, well, how am I going to have all these children? So that was my question. How is the person who's barren going to have all these children? And so what God is basically saying, the way that he gave it to me is that even though you may not be able to have children because you're barren, but there is such a thing as adoption. Okay? So he says that you're going to bear more children, even more than the women who are married and can bear children. They have the capability of bearing children because they have a husband, and so they can, have children. Verse 2, it says, so go ahead and get ready and enlarge your tent. Make your tent get bigger. Use more cloth. Make your tent super wide because you're going to have a lot of children.
Yes.
Get ready for them. Spare not the length, spare not the cord, and strengthen your stakes because you're going to break forth onto the right hand and onto the left. And thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate city to become inhabited.
Hallelujah.
I was like, okay. So I started looking up about adoption. I was like, 'cause I don't really know too much about adoption. And so the first question that the Holy Spirit told me to type in was, well, how many kids are you allowed to adopt? And people had different things. I went to different adoption sites, and a lot of them were saying between 6 and 8. But there really is no limit in how many kids you can adopt. How many kids you can have live with you? Yes, you can't have more than 6 and 8, but you can adopt as many as you want, and you can put them up in whether it be a foster home or any place like that. So you can really adopt all the kids you want. And so I started thinking, wow, God, that's very true. And we can think about Israel, how God already said, those are my people.
Amen.
And then the Gentiles were kind of set out. We don't have anyone. We don't have a dad. We're kind of up for adoption. And here God comes and he says, I'm going to adopt them. And it's not like he said, I'm just going to adopt 1 or 2. He's going to adopt all of them. So that's the same idea of adoption. God doesn't have a limit on, well, I can only adopt only but 6 or 8 to 8 of you guys, and that's it. The rest of you guys will perish. He can adopt every single one of us and put us into his family, because right here it says this tent is going to be enlarged.
Yes,
As wide
yes.
as the north is from the south, the east is to the west. He's going to enlarge his tent because he's expecting a great number of children. And we can see, just as he was telling Abraham, just look at the stars and you can see, you can't even count how many. That's how much your descendants are going to be. And that's true because he's taken into effect not just Jerusalem, but adopting all of us Gentiles and putting us all together, and we would outnumber the stars.
That's right. That's right. Glory to God.
So in verse 4, he says, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded. So he's saying, you won't be ashamed. You won't be puzzled or wondered or questioning. How come? How can this be that you're going to go? He goes on to say that the shame of thy youth, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. And so for me, when I was reading it, it was saying, don't be scared or confused. These things that you did when you were younger. I'm pretty sure we all can admit that there's a lot of things that we did that we were younger. We were younger, and we're pretty much ashamed of. I know there's at least 2 things I can think of right off bat that I'm very ashamed of. I did those things based on the influence of other people, and then I did them based on the fact that I didn't want my parents to know.
Amen.
And so I did them in hiding to make sure that my parents wouldn't find out. Not that that made it any better, it actually made it worse. And I thought if they don't find out that everything is okay, then I escaped some punishment. But not realizing that God saw me, and he's the person that I should have been concerned about seeing what I was doing. But instead I was so focused on all these other people and what they thought and what they were gonna say and how they were gonna react and the way that they were gonna, and talk about me and all of these things. And I really should have been concerned about what God had to say and what God was gonna think about what I had done. And so I don't have to worry about the shame of my youth, those things that I did then. I don't have to go back and say, oh, okay, well, I'm so ashamed, God, because of how I used to go out and club and how I used to go out and drink and how I used to flirt with all these different guys and give them all these wrong impressions when really I had no intentions of anything, or mess with that person, or talk bad about that person. I don't have to be ashamed of all that stuff I used to do when I was younger. And then he goes and he said, you remember the reproach of thy widowhood. And so for me, what the Holy Spirit told me about that was, you know how when you do something bad, and then people start, when you turn good and people start talking about you, and they go back into all those other stuff. So I was thinking about Israel, how, they're so used to, okay, well, they do all these bad things, and like, oh, but God's gonna save me, and God's gonna rescue us. And then here it is, whether it be the Babylonians or whether it be the Assyrians, and they're like, okay, so where's your God? I'm waiting on him. I thought you said he was going to protect you. I thought you said that you were his prized possession. I thought you said that he was going to clear you up and he was going to save you from my wrath. Where is he? And so here they are. They start talking bad about you. They start making fun and poking fun at you. And so now they're making you feel like a widow, like you've been abandoned by your husband. And you're the blame for why your husband is no longer even here to rescue you. And so they're talking trash about you. They're making you feel terrible. They're making you feel bad. You don't even have to worry about those naysayers, those people that were talking bad about you. You don't have to worry about the stuff that you used to do, and you don't have to worry about the stuff that people are going to say about you. Okay? In verse 5, for thy maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole earth shall he be called. So it's saying that our maker, our creator, God, is going to be our husband. So even when people were talking trash and saying, oh, how your husband abandoned you, your husband left you, oh, look at you, now you're all alone, you can be able to say, I'm not alone. God is my husband. God is my maker. He's my creator. He's with me. So if you think I'm alone, foolish you, I'm not alone. I have God on my side, and he's watching me. Despite the fact that I know, for me personally, there's a lot of things that I'm still struggling with. There's a lot of things that I have yet to be able to get together and do. But I know God's gonna work. God's working with me, and he's not gonna abandon me and say, "Oh my God, Stephanie, still really?" But he's still with me. He's still working it out with me as we're walking on this holiness highway. He's still working things through with us, and so I'm very, very grateful for that he's still working it out with us.
Hallelujah.
And so it says here, which I thought was very interesting, how he said that the God of the whole earth shall he be called. A lot of times I remember in the beginning of the books, they would always say, oh, the God of Israel, oh, the God of Judah, oh, the God of Jerusalem, and everything. But now he's saying the God of the whole earth. So it's once again another confirmation, like it's not just this little nation anymore. He's expanding the God of the whole entire earth. So he's adopting all of us and making it a whole lot wider, a whole lot bigger than just this collective nation.
Amen.
In verse 6, it starts to talk about how Israel didn't really want God.
That's right.
And even though he had chosen them. And so the imagery that came to me was similar to how you have like an arranged marriage. So here you have God, it's already been pre-chosen. You're the nation that I'm calling for. You're the girl. You're the one. Our parents talked to each other and they decided you and I were going to get together. And so typically with most arranged marriage, the guys are preparing for the woman. So they're getting themselves together. They're getting all their finances together. They're making sure they've got the nice house and everything's ready. And the women are typically making sure that they find out all about this guy. They end up finding out what he's like, what is he not like. Their moms start teaching them. They'll find out from their mom what's his favorite food. So now they start teaching you this is how you cook his favorite food. This is how you dress for him. This is what he likes, what he doesn't like. This is how you keep house. This is how you clean. So everything is already prepared because you guys are going to get together. It's done. And so this is an arranged marriage between God and, of course, Israel. But they don't want to be married to him. Now, I have a cousin who is kind of like in that situation where she was arranged to be married to someone else. But just like Israel, she really didn't want that. She didn't want that life. Came to the U.S. and it's like, I see other things that I like. I see other nations that I like. I see other people that are more interesting than the guy back home. And so, they start mixing and intertwining, and now when you would have listened to just the Hindu music, now all of a sudden, you're listening to hip hop and R&B, and you're listening to country music, jazz, and all this other things, rock and roll, heavy metal. You're mixing and mingling with all these other different people, just like it says here in Jeremiah 20:20-22. He's talking about how you're just prostituting yourself around, just having a good time. But I'm over here, we're supposed to be married, we're supposed to be together, we're supposed to be one, and you're busy sleeping with everybody else. Like, what's up with that? And so we can look at it just the same way, how we're God's chosen people, and yet we're sitting here prostituting ourselves with other things. So, I was like, prostitute.
Yeah.
Come on.
Amen. That's what we say.
When I got this, I was like, oh.
Come on with it.
I am, right? So, because I've done that. I've gone off and I've done all kinds of things that I know God didn't want me to do it. If he's my husband, like it says in the word, I shouldn't be messing around with all these other people. I should be doing all these other things that I know that my mom told me that God doesn't like. He wants to make sure that I'm not doing certain things. So he doesn't like a woman that drinks. He doesn't like a woman that smokes. He doesn't like a woman that's a busybody walking around the street and talking in all of people's houses, and I'm busy doing all of those things that my husband doesn't like. But yet he's still married to me.
Yeah.
And yet he's still holding on to me, and he's waiting ever so patiently for me to get it together. Once again, I'm so thankful for God for that. So here we have this arranged marriage in Israel. They didn't want anything to do with him. We can go all the way from Genesis all the way up to Isaiah, where they were doing all kinds of things, worshiping idols, casting their babies into fires, making gold figurines, and doing all these things that they know God didn't want. And so here they are, they don't want this arranged marriage for nothing. They're cheating on him, they're doing whatever they want, and they could care less. Because once again, they have that loophole. They know they can run back to God because they're chosen and favorite, and they think God is some sort of sucker, okay? And we can go back and be like, oh, which we've seen before. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Oh honey, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And please forgive me. And women, we can do that. We can work up, make the waters fall real quick. Just all this stuff, and knowing we don't need a single word of it. We'll go right back the very next day and be like, whatever. I pulled one over his eye again. And we keep on going and keep on doing all the stuff that you used to do. And men do it too. Men do it too. They get really all emotional, and then men start thinking, if I get angry enough to really just, and you'll believe me because I'm angry about it. I'm serious. Okay? Yeah. I've had that happen before. Yeah. Okay, so we all do it. We all pretend and we all lie. We all say we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. When we already know in our hearts, we're lying. We already have plans to go back out next week. We're already getting texts. Oh, you know what? Let's meet up at such and such club. The club I used to go to, Madhouse, was meet up at Madhouse on whatever. You guys don't know, that's good. Okay. Yeah, it's really a madhouse, okay? Yeah, all kind of madness went on.
That's right.
Here it goes on, and it says that Jesus is our Redeemer.
Yes,
and so I'm so glad that Jesus would redeem us back, as we've learned, if you guys were here in the prayer conference, how we've been separated, and Jesus is the one that's redeeming us back, and he gave us that ability to go back into prayer and to be able to have that reconciliation, that conversation once again with God. So we're not separated any longer. We're not separated from God, standing off in a corner, but we can pray and we can come back to him because Jesus already paid that price for us. So Jesus is the Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Verse 6 says, for the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit. And so the way I looked at this was a woman forsaken. So now it's gotten to the point where God knows, you know what? I've been kind. I've been your doormat long enough to the point that I feel dirty. I've forgiven you for all these things, and yet you continue to do all this stuff, and that's it. I'm out of here. Forsaken. I'm done with you. I've turned my back away from you. That's it. I just can't do it anymore. And he just separates himself from you. What a terrible day that was. When all the time you were able to call on God and he would come to your rescue with no problems. All of a sudden now you're calling on him and you hear nothing. You're praying and you hear nothing. You're fasting and nothing. And you're like, what's going on? You go to Apostle, I don't understand. Nothing. Bishop, can you? Nothing. What is going on? He's literally turned his back away from you and he's given up on you. He's like, I'm done. And I'm sure we can think of that in our relationship. Where we have someone who just did us so wrong for so long. And we're just like, you know what? I'm done with you. When you're done, you're done. It's like they call you and call you and call you. You don't answer. You're like, whatever. They come driving around your house, knocking on your door. I know you're in there. Open up the door. I just want to talk to you. And you're still like, no one's home.
That's right.
And you just completely just turn away from them. And that person walks away so sad and they start wishing and hoping and, what if I would have did this better? What if I would have done that better? Oh, if I could just, if they would just give me just 2 seconds of their time, I would really repent this time. I would really do right this time. And you just, that's when, as a sinner, you start making all kinds of prayers. Oh God, if you would just get me out of this situation. Right. Oh my goodness, I had no business being in. Except this time, he didn't answer.
That's right.
And you ended up going to jail. Or you ended up getting shot. Or you ended up with that STD you didn't want. And all of these things, and it's like he is literally turning his back on you. What do you do? What do you really do when he turns his back on you? But the beautiful thing about God, he's so good.
Yes, he is.
And that he said that his wrath, he hid his face only but for a moment. Verse 8. He was only mad but for a moment. And a moment for us, when you're in a certain situation, if the cops pull you over, that moment seems like forever. And so even though God's saying for a moment might be 3, 6, 9 months, 2 years, but it was just for a moment, even though for us it felt like 15 years. God, when are you going to get me out of this situation? And he says, my wrath is only but for a moment. And he says, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on you, says the Lord thy Redeemer. So he's going to have mercy on us when mercy, we don't deserve it. He doesn't have to get us out of the situations that we get ourselves into. He doesn't have to fix anything. He doesn't have to repair anything. He doesn't have to give us anything at all. He does it because he has mercy on us. Because he loves us like that. And shame on us for not loving him the same way. And verse 9 it says, for this is as the waters of Noah unto me. So now from verse 9, it starts coming up with promises and telling us all the things that he's going to do for us. So we all remember Noah, how God was mad and he wiped out everyone except for Noah and his family because he found some favor in Noah. And he's saying, just as I kept my promise then and I said I won't do that ever anymore, it's the same thing I'm telling you, that I am faithful to my word and you can believe in what I'm saying. So I have sworn that I would not be forth with thee, nor rebuke thee. So he's saying, even right now, even though I know that you're doing some things wrong, even though I know that you aren't getting it together, I'm not going to forsake you like I did before. I'm not going to turn my back away from you like I did before. I'm going to stay with you. And we're gonna work this thing out. We're gonna go to counseling. We're gonna talk it through. We're gonna make covenants with each other, and we're gonna keep our covenant. You're gonna end up being a person of integrity. And I said, this is what you said you're gonna do, and this is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna work this thing out together. Because we're not traveling up this holiness highway all on our own. God is with us. He said, if you be with me and I'm with you, we're going to make it through and we're going to walk up this whole highway. When before he would have just said, you know what, I keep telling you the same thing. So as Apostle was telling us about the holiness highway, I'm like, okay, so I'm seeing this highway, and based on what it was saying in Isaiah, how there's all these things. But so I see like rocks and stones and little things that might be on this highway that we can trip over and fall over, but God is with us. And I started thinking, okay, well, at that point, as we're walking up this holiness highway, and God's like, wait, step over here because there's a rock that might trip you over there. And typically, what do? We're like, But what did I do? I don't see a rock. Oh, that little thing is no problem. I used to step right over it. Right? That's what I thought. But it's kind of like an iceberg. It looks like a little rock, but it's a whole lot bigger than you think. And he's trying to protect you and keep you from certain things. Or, go to the left because there's a pothole over there.
Yes.
Oh, nothing. I can jump right over it.
Come on.
And you think, okay, well, don't walk over there because it looks okay, but it's sinking sand. You're like, no, it's okay, I got it. And you sink into this thing.
Yes,
And,
yes.
I just stop and I just like Apostle was saying, doubt and unbelief. I'm the one that will sit there and question God and say, are you sure? Are you sure? Especially if it's something that I really don't want to do. Are
What you
you
wanna
sure?
do, yeah.
I don't know, but maybe another day. And then, like, can I really bargain or reason with God? But I try it anyway, because I don't know any better.
Amen.
And so here we are going up this wilderness highway. He's leading us and guiding us. But we have to get to the point where we're not constantly trying to have authority over it, but give him all authority, give him all control, and just follow him. As we were learning, when he tells us to go a certain way, do it immediately. Because the moment you're busy stopping the talk and saying, oh, but boom, you could fall right in there before you even get a chance to finish your sentence. If you would have just done it right away, you would have missed that pothole, you would have missed that rock, you would have missed I don't know, the enemy that's throwing a boulder that he said duck, and you're like, what? We've all done that. They say duck, and you're like, huh? And then you look and something hits you in the face. And you can just duck and just trust him. Okay, boom, he said duck, duck. A lot of things wouldn't happen to us. So as we're going up, this is like a sidebar, as we're going up this holiness highway, as we've been taught here, when God tells us to do something, just do it immediately so we can avoid those certain things.
Right.
And here, God starts saying all these beautiful promises to us, starting from verse 9. And how, like the days of Noah, when he wiped out the whole entire earth, he won't really do that for us anymore because now he's going to stay with us. But he did say he's going to come back with fire, so that doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want to do and you'll be okay. You'll still reap the punishment of what you sow. Okay? For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee. Neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord, that has mercy on thee, that has mercy on me, Stephanie, that has mercy on you. O thou afflicted, that's tossed with tempted, and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay down foundations with sapphires. And we can think about the nation of Israel, where they were tossed to and fro every time they think they found themselves settled somewhere. Somebody came and attacked them. Somebody came and made them slaves. So they just couldn't find that place where they could just rest for a moment and just receive the prosperity of what God said that he was going to give them. It was all just always tossing to and fro. And we have that same situation. I know if you have a prayer closet, there's a lot of promises that I have in my prayer closet lined up and said, okay, well, this is what God says is going to happen, and I'm waiting for it. And it just seems like the enemy is just doing all kinds of stuff and just tossing and makes you want to toss to and fro, makes you shake your faith kind of wavery, like, okay, I know God said that he's going to do this for me. He's going to find a way to give me this money to fix this car. But every single time I turn around, something happens. Oh my goodness, now Brianna's sick. The money that I was putting away, now I gotta take it for her doctor's appointment. And just when I think I've got one up, oh no, now it's Hannah. What? Are you for real? And now I gotta do something for Hannah. Oh no, but Kayla has pneumonia. And now I take the money, and then I gotta do this for that. And then all of a sudden, oh no, this bill is higher than I thought it was. And it's just like, God, I need this car fixed. You said that this car would be fixed. What's going on? Like, oh my goodness. Oh yes. If you guys like me, just, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And just as Apostle was just saying, yes, you can call Apostle and say, Apostle, pray for me. Something is going on and I can't see it, and I know you have vision, you can see further than me. Please pray for me. Okay, you can do that. Or as Apostle said, you get your faith up. And continue to believe God that what he said that he's going to do is exactly what he's going to do, no matter what the circumstances and the situations may look like.
Amen.
He says here that, and I will make thy windows of a gate and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones. So I started looking, I'm like, I don't know what an agate is. So I looked it up, and it was another precious gem, another precious stone.
Come
And
on.
then it says gates of carbuncle, another precious stone, another precious gem, all these things that are not so easily broken,
Yeah.
and very pleasing to God. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord. That is enough to praise for. To know that even despite all the stuff that we're going through, that I know I had one prophecy that was given to me that as far as you'll be blessed with generation unto generation 3 times fold. So that's enough for me to shout for because I don't know about you, but I'm not doing this salvation walk selfishly just for me.
Yeah.
I'm also doing it for my children. And to be able to know that my children will be taught the things of the Lord. My children will receive the
Come
same
on,
blessing
now.
of the work that I'm doing. So I'm not praying in vain because my children are going to benefit from the prayers. I benefit from the prayers of my grandmother. I benefit from the prayers of my mother. And to be able to keep that same thing going so that my children and my children's children, my children's children will have that same benefit just as I was given.
Yes,
Right?
yes, hallelujah.
And great shall be the peace of thy children. And so,
Thank
the
you,
peace
Lord.
of thy children. I was looking up the difference between, because one of the commentaries that I was reading was saying there's difference between the old covenant or the old church in a sense compared to the new covenant in the new church. And it was sending me to Corinthians where it was talking about, now God is calling the Gentiles, us, his church. And so it was saying how we don't want to go and do the same things that the old covenant, the old church used to do, where they would use to prostitute themselves and do all these things. We're not supposed to be doing that anymore because now he's called us his bridegroom. So it's a little bit different compared to the arranged marriage that he had with the nation of Israel. But now he's calling us a bridegroom, which is like his fiance. Okay? And so we're looking at, so it's like you're being given a second chance, a different chance than what they had. Because I'm telling you, once again, I'm preparing to be married to you. And once again, I'm teaching you and I'm telling you this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. This is what you should do and this is what you will not do. And so he's going through the same process once again with us and telling us, I want you to be like this and please don't do like your, what would you call them? Your adopted brothers and sisters did. Don't do me like they did me. I'm expecting different from you. I'm expecting better from you. When I was reading through, I was like, well, the church back then, they weren't really quite going out and telling all about God like that. But now here we get to Acts and we're being told about God. Now the Gentiles are coming into the faith and they're coming into the fellowship and they're coming into the family. And now God is coming and telling us all of these things. And now the gospel is being spread out. Now the promises and what he's saying here is going out. Now he doesn't want to make sure that your tent is ready because there's a lot of people coming into the faith now. He's adopting constantly. And so I'm like, okay, so now he's saying, now you're my bridegroom.
That's right.
I'm expecting to be married to you, and this is what I'm expecting out of you. And so we have to stick to that because I don't know about you, as a woman, I don't want to be left in the altar.
All right now.
I don't want to be stood up. I'm waiting on him and he doesn't show up. That's just not going to happen. And neither would a gentleman like to be waiting at the front and the bridegroom doesn't show up. What's going on? And you found out, okay, wait a minute. She didn't show up because she was hungover from the night before at the bachelorette party. Wait a minute. It just doesn't make any sense. And so here we are. God is saying, you're my fiance. And I'm planning on marrying you. And I'm taking this in a different route. And I'm already pre-telling you these are the things that I don't want. And then you have the Bible, all the stuff of what your brothers and sisters were doing before. And I was mad at them. But now you have a different promise, a different lining where I'm telling you that unlike what I did to them before, and I didn't want to walk with them, and I turned my back on them, but with you, I'm going to do it a whole lot different. With you, I'm going to teach you from step by step how to walk with me, how your walk should look like with me, and what you're going to do so that we can really be able to build this thing. This marriage is going to be awesome and amazing. And so this is what he's already saying. Okay, well, follow the directions and read back into the Old Testament. Like I know a lot of people would say, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. We really don't do that stuff anymore. But it's still good. It's not old. It's not unapplicable. You can still take all that stuff and apply it to right now. Okay, well, the children of Israel used to make idols. Well, then I know that me being the bridegroom, that's what he didn't like for his wife to do. Well, now, I guess, just to kind of make it make sense, I'm the new wife coming on the scene, and I already know what the ex-wife was doing. And I don't want to do the same thing that the ex-wife is doing, because I don't want to get kicked off like the ex-wife is doing. I want to stay here. And so you'll learn from the things from the ex-wife that you shouldn't do. So if the ex-wife, he used to say, well, I like my rice like this, and please don't burn it. And the ex-wife used to burn it every night. Then obviously you're not gonna go and do the same thing. You're gonna make sure it's not burned. Whether you get a crock pot, whatever you have to do, make it nice and good so that you can be in good standing with your husband.
Thank you, Lord.
In verse 15 it says, behold, thou shalt surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. So here God's saying that even though there might be some people that are going around talking about you and doing all these things and causing calamity in your life, it's not because I sunk them. Because we're in right standing already. I already forgave you. We're walking together. It's not me. But I will let you know that I'm the one that created everything. He says in verse 16, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth all instruments for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy. So he's saying, okay, even though I didn't cause all this situation, all this calamity to happen, but I'm the creator of them all, and I can get rid of it all. So all the people that are coming up against you with swords, guess what? I'm the person that made the blacksmith that was able to blow and create the sword, and I'll get rid of it because I created that. And so he's letting you know that you don't have, it's just like, it's so nice. You don't have to worry about anything.
That's
He's
right,
saying that I'm going to be with you. Anyone that's coming against you, they're find problems because I created it all just as easy, so they were able to get the sword. I can wipe the swords away. I can make sure whoever created the swords for them won't create them anymore.
Yes, yes.
All those people that were talking and saying trash about you, I created their mouth. Guess what? I can shut it up. He's able to do it all. He's saying, don't you worry about a thing. Okay?
Yes.
In verse 17, which a lot of us, I've heard quoted so many times, for no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. He didn't say the people that go to church of the Lord. He didn't say the people that talk about Jesus only on Sunday. He didn't say, oh, those people that go to church on Easter. Well, they say Easter, but Resurrection Sunday and Christmas. He said the servants of the Lord. This is what I'm going to do, the servants of the Lord.
That's right.
Not sometime Christians.
That's
Not
right.
I pretend to be Christians, but I go out and do whatever I want to do.
Come on.
Christians, but the servants of the Lord.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to make anyone feel bad because I was that kind of
That's
Christian.
right. That's
okay?
right.
So I'm terrible because really I went to church a whole lot more than just on Sundays. I went to choir practice
All
on
right.
Saturdays. I went to church Sunday morning,
All right.
Thursday evening. I went to Bible study on Thursday.
Come on.
I was a part of the youth ministry on
All
Friday.
right.
I was in the church.
Come on.
Yet still, I was doing my own thing.
Yes,
It
right.
wasn't in me, not at all.
Amen. Come on. Teach the truth, dog.
Exactly. It wasn't in me. And the moment I had the opportunity to break out, I broke out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
just like that, and it really was. And it was, now looking in hindsight, it was a big mistake. Because I saw, I guess I'll say in my conclusion, what I saw was that loophole.
That's right.
That loophole where I can go and do whatever I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, and God will forgive me. Because I assume that I was like the nation of Israel, that I can be forgiven and do whatever I want to do and worship any kind of idol that I felt like, the idol of alcohol, the idol of getting attention from guys, the idol of tight pants and tight shirts, the idol of dancing, all of those things, the idol of fornication, just all of it.
Yes,
I
yes.
could just do it all, and all I had to do was just say, before I go to sleep, like, oh God, forgive me, I know I was wrong.
Yeah.
And that was wrong. And that was okay. Like, stupid me, that wasn't okay. That wasn't enough. And a lot of, you know,
Amen.
Apostle Ari was saying to us, you know, there's a lot of people that within our age group that are still doing things like that. So it's not to look down on the person that's doing it. It's not to, you know, talk about you or whatever, because I was there too. You know, I used to do those same things too. And it's to let them know that you don't have to do those things anymore, especially for those that we have friends that proclaim to be Christians and you know that they're doing these things. So, hey, stop it, quit. Because that's not true. As a matter of fact, you're not really acting like a Christian. You're not really a Christian. If you're doing all of that, you know, and just really opening their eyes and saying, you have to make a change. You have to make a change like right now. Because just as the Apostle had told us too, I could have went to sleep that night and not woke up. And then what? And really, I know I wasn't forgiven. Okay? And I know I didn't do it with a really repentant heart. And I know I had plans to go out the next day. So it really wasn't for real. It really didn't come from my heart. It really didn't come from a place of repentance for me saying, God, I'm really not going to do that anymore. It was just, I just did it because that was a religious thing to do. You know, before you go to bed, pray to cover all the bad things that you've done, and then you wake up and you keep going and doing the same things again. You know, and I was the kind of person, if you saw me, you probably wouldn't know that was my lifestyle. So you have a lot of people that are good, you know, and you know what they're doing at home. You see them, and I'm sure maybe some guys that might see me say, "Oh, she's so nice. She's like a nice person." I am a nice person, but you wouldn't know, or you wouldn't think that, oh, she's got all this stuff that she used to do in the past. And I'm not ashamed of those things because it happened.
That's right.
Unfortunately, I made a lot of mistakes.
That's right.
Do I regret? I regret a lot of those mistakes. Some of them I can't call regrets because they're beautiful and they're here with me and they're a blessing from God. But there's a lot of things that I wish I hadn't done. There's a lot of people that I wish I had never gotten entangled in and entangled with. A lot of things that I wish I had never heard that now, even to this day, still those ants, those automatic negative thoughts are still here, listening in my ears, giving us all these different things and causing all that doubt and belief to come up even, you know? And so I'm thankful that even though I may run into people in my past that will be like, oh, Stephanie, you remember? Yes, I do remember. I was trying to forget. You know, and they bring up all that stuff, and especially with just one person, and she just remembers me so well because it's since elementary school I've known her. So, you know, come back and, oh, I remember how you used to curse like this. What was your favorite word? And it's like, I know what it was, don't say it. You know, I remember very well. You don't have to remind me, okay? And, you know, those people will come back and say that. People will come back and say, oh, but now you're proclaiming that you're a Christian and you're proclaiming that, you know, you don't do all these things, and they're looking at you and they want to say all these things about you, but it's not true. I understand what you saw in my past. I understand how you saw how I used to be, but that's not me any longer. If there's one thing I would want you to walk away from, is that even though they're saying all these things, don't give them. No, that's right. Don't give them anything to go back and say, aha.
Gotcha.
Okay? If you understand? So like, for instance, if I'm telling them, oh, I'm a Christian, I don't do those things anymore. Yes, I know I used to cuss really good and I used to do all that stuff, but I don't do that anymore. And then here it goes, some patient at work just got on my last nerve. And then I just walked out of the room and I just said something, and they're like, ah, you're a Christian. Don't give them that opportunity to be able to go and say, yeah, that's a lie. Your testimony is fake. Don't let them be able to say that about you. Don't let them be able to say that about God, because He has been way too good to us for us to be able to cause Him to have to get that look and get that, oh my goodness, oh, now we repair and rebuild all this stuff that we just worked up because you just went and said that word, you know, and just don't mess up your testimony.
Glory to God. Hallelujah.
Keep walking up this highway of holiness. Stay true to your testimony. Stay true to what you say that you are, and don't let the situations of life, the wavering, cause you to sin, cause you to miss out, cause you to trip and stumble, and make you miss heaven, miss the promises that God is telling you that He's going to give you. You know, don't cause Him to not show up to that wedding. And you thought that's the worst. You thought you were going to get married to Him, and He did not show up. So,
glory to God.
My question once again is, will you grow? Just to go back into what we've really been doing here as far as evangelism.
Hallelujah.
Will not only you grow, but will you cause the ministry to grow? Not that it doesn't, I don't have to say, oh, this ministry, but will you cause the ministry of Jesus Christ to grow? And cause it to expand. Not use it like a water bottle where you just pour that, but to be like a balloon and just expand and flow. Will you cause it to grow? Or will you just hold on to it on your own like a closed water, like a closed water bottle, instead of being like a water balloon? Will you just hold on to it yourself and not expand it, not let other people know about how good God is? Whatever way you can find to evangelize to other people. Apostle gave us a lot of examples. You can send text messages to your friends and say, you know, hey, this, and get yourself together that, and this is what I heard at church, and you should be here too when I'm praying for you. Like Deacon Cunningham had sent me a message and says, you know, just slipped right out of my mind. Where he said, I need you to survive. And I was like, wow, I'm grateful for that. You know? You know, but it's like, you know, just little things. Okay, erase, edit. Like some people will send you those encouragements. Okay. And you be an encouragement to your friends, be encouragement to your family, be encouragement to the people that are working around you, and really just let this ministry of Jesus Christ expand and grow. I don't want to be in a big old tent and it's only but a few of us. I want us to be able to fill up that tent to the point that we're bubbling over. That's the word that I was given. If you'll stand with me and we'll close in prayer.
Amen. Hallelujah. Glory. Thank you.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Father God, I thank you for the word that you brought forth this morning. Lord, I pray that every single heart may be open, even right now, towards evangelizing, towards sending out the message, sending out the word of how good you have been to us. Even if it's just to simply say that you woke us up this morning, and Lord, that's good enough that we're able to wake up and to breathe and to be walking and to be talking, to have all our limbs functioning, Father, to be able to say thank you for how good you are, how merciful and how grateful we are to you for all the things that you have done to us. Lord, let our light, the light in us shine through prayer. Let us shine and pray for all those around us, not to be like fat cats and just absorb everything on our own, but be able to go and spew those things out to other people so that they can be blessed and be enriched just as much as.
Thank you for joining us here at Greater Harvest Christian Center Churches Worldwide. You can find more information on us at www.kawebtv.com. And you can call our office at 954-533-7813 or 1-855-200-7729. This has been a broadcast of Greater Harvest Christian Center Churches Worldwide, a member of the Interglobal Association of Christian Churches Worldwide. In Jesus' name, we're located at 4401 Powerline Road in Oakland Park, Florida, 33473. Thank you again and have a blessed day.